Previously on Survivor.
The 13th person voted out of Survivor Syracuse and the 6th member of our jury, Johnny. Team spoken.
Good luck, guys.
There you go.
Alright. This is a real hidden immunity idol. All votes cast for Phelan will not count. The 14th person voted out of Survivor Syracuse Double Trouble, Ben. The 15th member voted out of Survivor Syracuse Season 6, Phelan. Zach, Kata, Valentina, congratulations. All of you are going to the final vote. For each of you will have your chance to make your case to be our 6th Sole Survivor. All right, final 3, come on in. We'll now bring in the members of our jury. Skylar, Andrew, Preston, Jake, Graham, Johnny, Ben, and Phelan. Now, Jake is in a bit of traffic coming back from Thanksgiving break. He may or may not get here. We'll play that by ear. But anyway, let's now turn our attention to our 3 finalists, Zach, Valentina, and Kata. Making it to the end is a huge accomplishment, but in the end, only one of you can be the sole survivor. This season's theme was Double Trouble, and we certainly saw a lot of dynamic duos formed this season, whether it was Valentina and Phelan, Kata and Ben, Zach and Jake. You all had a partner that you worked close with this season before having to leave them behind to be here where you are now in the finals. We saw double eliminations, double votes, and double advantages, and you all certainly caused a lot of trouble. And now, after 92 days of looking over your shoulder, tonight it all ends and one of you will take your place as Survivor Syracuse's 6th Sole Survivor. You will each have an opportunity to pitch your case to the jury of your peers. Each finalist will deliver an opening statement. Then, in order of elimination, each member of the jury will have the floor for one question directed at any or all players that they choose. Finally, each of you will be able to make your closing statement for the jury votes. Jury members will go outside, write down the name of the player they think deserves to win, and for the first and only time in this game, you will want to see your name written down on a piece of paper. Whoever has the most votes will be crowned the 6th winner of Survivor Syracuse. Kata, we'll start with you. You can present your opening statement. You'll be followed by Zach and then Valentina.
So, I don't know. I have been playing this game in a way that I think a lot of people didn't expect. The first day that we were walking to Thornton Park, I also didn't prepare a speech, so bear with me, because I just, wanted to feel the room. Anyway, the first day that I was walking to Thornton Park to meet all of you, I called Owen and I was like, I do not want to do this. I'm super anxious. I don't like meeting new people. I don't like competition. I've never been a competitive person. And he told me, just go one day, see how it feels, make friends, and you'll continue going. And that's the mentality that I went to, every single day. And I didn't let, anxiety get the best of me, which I'm really proud of for myself. And I played a horrible strength game. Didn't win. I was in tribal council every single week. I never got immunity. I never had any protection for myself, but I still went through to the next day. And honestly, I feel like there's something about that I don't know, I'm proud of. I played a good social game, if anything, and I made friends, and I had fun, genuinely, out of something that I was terrified of ever doing. So even if I don't win tonight, even if I come in third, second, first, I'm proud of myself for doing something that I almost quit 500 times. That's my speech.
All right, Kata, thank you. Zach, you're up.
All right. I have a little something prepared. Hi, survivors. This is a speech that I'm just really happy to be here, really humbled to be here with you all, really optimistic to give you guys this speech. It's a campaign I've been writing since late August, and it's crazy to think that I've been playing this game with Valentina and Kata for 92 days. It's crazy. I've been constantly dedicating my time to strategizing, manipulating, but overall surviving to reach this final stage. Now, before I begin my campaign, I also want to congratulate my fellow competitors for making it here with me, and I want to thank you guys for playing with me. I had a very specific strategy when I first got here, and it was to throw every single competition. My goal of this was to downsize myself as a target, and it worked. I didn't have a single person write down my name at Tribal Council until Final 9. Did I expect you to be standing here with 4 individual immunities? Absolutely not. Yes, you could say 4 individual immunities is dominant or impressive, but there are many reasons to think highly of my gameplay. A big reason to this is my ride or die, Jake, from day one. Even though everyone found out we were in the same fraternity in the second half of the game, I did hide it for a portion, and Esukaris had no idea. Our strategy began on the first day, and during the flag finding competition, we decided we did not want to be in the same tribe. It was an idea that we wanted to both have a different side of the cast, and we each worked that side, and we have them not target each other, and it worked. After the tribe swap, I told Jake to keep Johnny and Graham safe, and it was really because of how they were in the minority after the tribe swap, because we had that Pegasus alliance, you guys know what I'm talking about, and I wanted to keep them safe. So I wanted to keep the most numbers I had going into the merge, and that kind of leads there. And the biggest move of my game was taking out Skylar, and to do that, there were 2 different phases to do that. First, I had to find out who you guys were targeting, because you guys had the majority, and you all wanted to take out my #1 ally. You guys didn't know he was my #1 ally, so during that entire Zoom call, I was texting him everything, and he had every bit of information, and from there, it was pretty easy to flip. During the tribe swap, when I actually was the one who tried to take you out, the first time you used your idol, I blamed it on Skylar, so it made it pretty easy for you to want to take her out after the merge to get the numbers. So, and also during that time, I made an agreement with the Noir side to keep me safe. By giving them the numbers, I would be given 2 to 3 weeks of safety. So basically, I just wanted to get the numbers and be safe for as long as I humanly could. So as numbers began to dwindle on both sides, my ally got taken out. You guys were being taken out from my Esukara's side. And I had an idea for the final stretch. It was to make it to Final 5 with 2 pairs, because I was working between Noir and Esukara's for the entire merge. After the numbers got smaller, I was like, I'm working with Noir, which I've been doing. I want to go with 2 pairs and split myself between them. It was banning Kata, Phelan, Valentina. So when we got to Final 5, it didn't really matter who went. I could have, during that Final 5 vote off, I was contemplating throwing a rogue vote to make it a 1-1 in case the idol got played. It didn't matter as long as my goal was to set myself up, and you 2 were my biggest competition, I believed, and I wanted to ensure that I could give myself the highest chance of winning. So I really wanted to bring you to Final 3, but if there was an opportunity that you could have been taken out with no blood on my hands, that's fine. And then obviously the next competition I had to win and followed suit. So I wanted to set myself up for the best opportunity to win this game. Even though I've won 4 individual immunity competitions, I've never been a target in the game. I've had votes against me, but they weren't to take me out. I never had anyone plotting to take me out. just want to thank you guys for listening. I will respect your decision no matter how you guys decide to vote. And I've thoroughly enjoyed playing the game with each and every one of you guys. And this has been a dream come true for me to play this game with all of you.
Zach, thank you. Valentina, let's finish up opening statements.
Hi guys! Yay. Okay, so being here right now really feels unreal considering that I had no faith in myself going through the application process. Like I've mentioned many times before, I am very good friends with Holly, Paul, Cass, and Kevin, and I'd like to take this moment to thank them for peer pressuring me into playing this because I've generally had such an amazing and memorable experience. There was a while where I was really doing this for you guys, and then I came to realize once I got to Final 6 that I had to do this for myself. From the beginning of the game, I told myself that I was going to go about it the way that I go about corny-ish, but the game of life that we take part in every day. So I stay close to those who reciprocate the same energy as me, tell it how it is, and also focus on myself. At our first meeting back at the beginning of the semester, I was super anxious to meet everyone, but after seeing a few familiar faces, I was surprised and comforted by the journey that I was about to take up on. We then got assigned our partners, and I luckily got Jake, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight. And for some reason, I will forever apologize for this, but I kept calling him Zach, so ironic that now you're here with me. From the beginning, Jake and I clicked really well, and now, thanks to Survivor, I not only have him as a new friend, but a lot of you as well. Then there was Noor, who I also have to shout out, because although we had a lot of unfortunate losses as a team, we never broke down, and as we said as a collective, it only brought us closer together. Through this part of the game, though, I wasn't trying to prove anything to anyone besides my loyalty, and the rest just followed through. I felt fortunate enough to begin to create strong relationships with different people that I was truly surprised to have been reached out by, because I only looked up to them as players and all for different reasons. Once the merge came into play, I knew from the type of teams that had been formed, it was going to be somewhat of a predictable game. At this point, it was the strongest players versus the least favorite players. I stuck to the people I could trust, and I got lucky with those people who, fortunately for me, didn't backstab me. Zach, you played a very important role in the merge. You were the reason Noor, as you confessed, was able to make a comeback, whether you saw it or not, which you obviously did. You knew that you weren't being appreciated by Asukara, so you came to us, smart of you to do, because look at where you are seated here today. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Kata, I appreciate you, and I'm happy to be sitting next to you as well. For those of you who aren't aware, Katarina and I have been friends since freshman year, and when we saw each other at our first meetup, she completely acted like she didn't know who I was, and I was like, oh, she probably really doesn't know who I am, because I haven't seen her since before the pandemic. Anyways, we made a vow to each other that we would stick together towards the end, like till the end, no matter what, and I tried to make that as much of a secret as I could, and it worked out in our favor, I guess. And then, yeah, honestly, I'm just really grateful to be here. Final 3 and all, I'm grateful for all the players that I was up against, the relationships that I built off of the game, and this has been a great ride. And I really just hope that the person who is chosen at the end is based off of their overall play at the game. And I know that looking at the jury right now, that will be an easy, or maybe not an easy, but somewhat of a good decision to come out of you guys. So.
All right, finalists, thank you. We'll now move on to the jury question aspect of the final vote. Scott, we're going to start with you, and we'll go down in the boot order.
Hey guys! Okay, first, great speeches of all of you. But the one question that I really want to ask all three of you is, what was the biggest move that you solely, like alone, orchestrated that you think got you to Final 3? Zach can go first if you want.
Okay, so if you want to talk about single-handedly, I'm not going to talk about voting you out, because that was definitely a 1-2 punch between me and Jake. But I'll go to Final 5, what I was talking about earlier, about them. I could have easily saved Ben, or gave Ben a chance, because just in case an idol was played, which it was, because we made a deal with Ben. I made a deal with Ben and Kata, Final 3, and I could have tried to save that. But to me, it didn't matter as long as one of them went at final 5, and then if one of them could go at final 4, it didn't really matter. So just by letting the chips fall the way they did, that was a big move that I made. That put me in a good position moving forward from that vote off.
For me, I would say it just, like, final 4 just fell into my hands, and, like, I'd never wanted to vote Phelan off, but I knew that she was my biggest competition. So it just fell in my hands that she ended up final 4, and then I had made my pact with Kata, and I couldn't vote out Zach. So that's what led me to final 3, is that I had to vote out Phelan.
I mean, not to swerve around the question, I guess, but I don't think Survivor is about, like, individual moves. I feel like people who try to make individual moves are not here right now. It's about strategy and, like, moves which involve people. There are moves that I started, but not that I completed alone. And I feel like that's a huge part of why I'm sitting here right now. And I think to take credit for a move that maybe a lot of people had a part on wouldn't be fair on the people who also did that. So I'm just not going to put myself in that situation.
Thank you, guys. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, so my question is, how do you guys think the final vote's gonna go? And do you guys have anything to say to those not voting for you? Does that make sense?
Yes.
I love that question.
I didn't get the end.
What do you want to say to those not voting for you?
Oh, you two, you mean?
No,
So like us.
on the jury.
If we weren't to vote for you.
Unless you think everybody's going to vote for you.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I can start this one. I think for the people who aren't going to vote for me, I'm not going to talk down on my competitors because, again, not the game that I'm here to play. But for the people who don't want to vote for me, I think I just consider that maybe it's not the loudest one in the room that's making all the moves. Sometimes the people who, like, seem the quietest are also as involved in the game as those who are very vocal. There are two sides to the game, and nothing can work without all the moving pieces. And I know that there are people who think that I was too quiet, but maybe I was just quiet enough to play my game without being noticed. Because, like Zach said, his name wasn't put down until Final 9. My name was never written down until, like, Final 5 or 4 or something. So, yeah.
To those not voting for me, I hope that you don't vote for me based on what you hear tonight, and based on, like, just, like, I hope you just didn't come here knowing exactly who you were going to vote for. I hope that tonight has a lot to do with your vote. So if you're not voting for me, then, like, I hope it's for that reason.
For me, for not voting, if I had backstabbed you at some point in the game, just know it was purely just logic and gameplay to get me to where I am now. It wasn't anything personal. Of course, I've told you guys that 100 times before, like, during the game. But also, like, I know a lot of you guys here have been aligned with me, but also been aligned with them. So I would take tonight and hear from everyone's side of the story and how they kind of saw the game progressing, and not just from someone that you may have worked with throughout the game. Look, think about someone else who you haven't been working with that closely and see what they have to offer and how they got through.
You answer the question.
Alright, I have stuff to say. I have questions for all three of you. First of all, congratulations to all of you three. There's a reason why we're sitting there and you're sitting here. So, in my vote tonight, my vote's wide open. I ain't come in here with any preconceived notions. I'm going to vote for who says the best stuff. So I want all of you to own your games, and I want you to dodge any other questions I have. I have individual questions that I've thought of, like, long and hard to all three of you. So I'll start with Kata. You played very under the radar, but you also didn't talk to me all season. So why should I vote for you?
I mean, it goes both ways. You didn't talk to me
But
as well.
I'm
And you
sitting
came
there
in.
for a reason. You're sitting here.
Can I talk?
Go for it.
Thank you. You came in the majority, so you had all the, like, power to come talk to me. You just deemed me, like, useless to your game. And I don't know. I just did with my cards what I had. And if I offended you by not reaching out to you, I'm sorry. Survivor was just one of many things that I had going on this season. And maybe if you think that the only people who played well were the people who voted for you, then you don't have to vote for me if I didn't play with you, and that's how you're judging this.
That's not how I'm judging it, and I guarantee you didn't hurt my feelings, but thank you.
Yeah.
So Valentina, my question for you, what was your advantage, and if you didn't play it, why didn't you?
My advantage was power over safety. So it was, I had an extra vote all up until final 6, and I didn't use it because, one, I forgot, and then 2, I didn't need it, or I felt like I didn't need it. Clearly I didn't need it, but it just didn't, I didn't need it. Like, I was too comfortable, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember what that vote was, but I do remember being like, oh, I'll just use it the next one, and then I didn't need to, like I couldn't, so that was my advantage. But we did lie about it, and I did say different things to different people because it was, no one really knew what it was. I didn't even know what it was until it was too late, so.
All right, Zach, there's a reason I'm ending off with you.
Yeah.
I'm giving you the chance to own your game. At the final 11 after that Sky vote, we talked to you for 30 minutes, and you kind of dodged around, talked, didn't really, like, everything you said, I kind of speak for them, left a sorry taste in our mouths, just from a gameplay perspective. I'm giving you the chance to own your game. Again, my vote's wide open. Why didn't you own your decision after the final 11, final 10? Why didn't you say, like, oh, I did this for this reason? Why didn't you own it?
Well, I definitely own the fact that I flipped. I definitely had nowhere to run with that. You guys all knew it. Johnny gave me the death stare, but that was really scary. But I definitely own that decision. And during that conversation, I brought that up multiple times. I didn't want to bring up the idea that I started it because I didn't want all you guys to rally with Noir, a group of people who I just established a lot of trust with, to backstab me. I had to do that to protect my own game. I mean, there's a reason why at this point I wanted to come clean about that, because I was afraid that, and you guys all did try to backstab me at some points. You made some attempts with the double idol. At that point, if you and Graham were safe, Johnny was safe, I was the odd man out. If it was true, it was kind of like a shot. So I had to protect you guys clearly had a little bit of animosity towards me, and I wanted to protect myself as much as I physically could have in the game.
Okay. Thank you for your answers, and really appreciate it.
I hope that answers your question.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Preston.
All right, so since Jake's not here, I will be asking this question for him. We'll just, same question for all of you. Start with Zach, go down the line. Why do the two people sitting next to you deserve to win?
Love that question. Oh my god. Okay, I'll start with Kata, and she brought this up a lot about playing a very under the radar game, and I think that takes a lot of courage. And like, I know some of you guys have had anxiety problems like before vote ops. The fact that she hung in and did not have a vote against her until the very late part of the game takes a lot of mental strength that not all of us had. We all flipped out. We all would text each other an hour before vote up. What's going on? What's going on? She just hung in there. She was in a very comfortable position after the Skylar vote where she had the numbers. But to think, oh, no one's going to backstab me, no one's going to backstab me, takes a lot of mental strength. Valentina, I think she played a very good social game. I think she versed herself pretty well with Esukaras, even though she was working with Noir. She did verse herself a little bit here and there with you guys. So I think that her social game was very big, and a reason why no one from our group, even when we were targeting one of Phelan or Valentina, we chose Phelan because Valentina had a better social game. That's kind of what we talked about. And we saw Phelan as a more threat to win the game. And that kind of, that flies under the radar too. Like, she's here and Phelan's not.
Valentina?
I had something to say. Okay, I'll start off with Zach. I give you credit because you were a really bad liar. And,
I'm a terrible liar.
And we all saw through it, but you're still here. Like, that worked out for you in the end. And, like, I think that your immunity and, like, winning your challenges, like, you even faked the fucking boot, bro. You know what I mean?
that wasn't that wasn't fake. No,
I'm gonna say it was fake because you was stomping on those steps, okay?
I don't know how I did that. I don't know how that happened. For you guys watching, I don't know how I got up those steps.
It's okay. Again, bad lying. You know what I mean? But you're still here. It's okay. So I'll give it to you there. It just worked out for you, like, really well. Like, you did what you had to do, and you did, and you're here. And I think that, you know, everyone has their own way of going about it, and you went about it. You stuck to it, like you said. You did your little double person strategy, and it worked out for you. So
Double person strategy.
couples, you were the last one. Me, Phelan, Ben, and Kata.
Oh yeah.
You said in your speech.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. Okay. Kata, I would have to say that talking to you throughout the whole game, you had really good plans and really good like strategizing that I didn't think about, or like you always had something to say that like worked out or like worked, whether it be in your favor or not. Like you planned very well things in the future that like I wouldn't have thought of, and I think you taught me a lot about Survivor as a whole. So I think that just by you teaching me, I think that you deserve to win Survivor for that reason.
I think two people sitting next to me now deserve to win. Truly, because first of all, I feel like Zach, I'm gonna start with Zach, has gotten and is going to get a lot of shit for the one move that he made in this game that might be the reason why he is sitting here. I think he recognized that he was in the bottom of a pyramid, and I feel it takes a lot of courage to get out of a group of people that you're comfortable with and in the middle of the game restart your social game completely with a complete new set of people. You upset a lot of people in the way, and you put yourself in a risky spot every week. So I do congratulate Zach's courage on that, and I feel like he deserves to win because he was willing to analyze his game mid-game and start over. And Valentina, I think she played the outwit, outlast, and outplay all three of those games. Not just one or another. She played all three of them enough, like balanced, where she was outstanding in all of them. Even though you dropped the jug, all right. Every single physical challenge you were 100% in, and you would go MIA during the week. And as soon as it was the night before, you had like all this mental power to just sit at it and like solve any problem that came before a vote, and that's very admirable.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
First of all, congrats to the three for getting here. You all made many decisions along the way to get where you are now. So my question is, if the game started over, what's one big aspect of the game you wish you could have done differently?
I mean, I can start. I think I really enjoyed the game that I played, but I think if I were to play a different game, I would have been less shy, and like I would have texted people first. A lot of that wasn't from a strategy point. It was from like like they probably have ready like allies. I don't want to like intrude on that or anything. They're probably gonna leave me on red, which I was left on red a few times, and it's like it hurts, and you don't want to do it again. So I think I would have just been less shy and reached out to more people and maybe involved more people in my game than I did.
I can go next. I would say two things. One, be a little less vulnerable. There was one point, like with when I was with like mostly Asukaris, y'all really had me thinking that you were gonna, I don't remember who we were gonna vote out, but it wasn't Phelan, and I was like completely blindsided by that. That's one thing I would have changed. I was just way too vulnerable. And another thing that I would have changed was getting closer to people on Asukaris after the merge. just because it goes both ways, and I think that I personally could have done better reaching out to you guys and like creating some type of relationship, because I didn't want it to be like a predictable game, just being like Noir versus old Asukaris.
So I kind of had the idea when I wanted to come to this game, I wanted to have fun. Like, you know, Johnny knows I love Dr. Will from Big Brother. He loves to have fun.
Yeah.
So, one thing, Valentina hit the nail on the head. I'm not a great liar. And sometimes I'm okay, but one thing I did a really bad job of lying about is my relationship with Jake. Yeah, I think you sniffed it out, Ben, on social media. You think you told me that. You think you found it on Instagram. But yeah, I think I would have wanted to play the game longer with him if I could change anything. And I was warning him the day of Phelan. I warned him. And she made an amazing play. So I think if I could do anything differently, I just want to play longer with him. And we strategized on purpose to not be in the same tribe. And we didn't get to be in the same tribe until the merge. And we only got like a couple weeks to really play together. I wish we got more of that.
Thank you. Good luck to you all.
Thank you.
How's it going, guys? Congratulations.
Thank you.
I have one question for one person, and it's for Zach. So, I said in the tribal that I went home that I'm not going to be a bitter juror, and I will vote for who I believe played the best game. However, it's possible that some of my fellow jury members don't feel that same sentiment and still feel extremely burned by you.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to explain to all of us why you expect us to still have your vote, even though that one vote was the downfall for the majority of our games.
Yeah, a bitter jury. As soon as I took you out, Skylar, I thought about jury management and a bitter jury, and I definitely did not expect to have anyone's vote here. I think it's about just respecting the game and the game that I played. It did involve some backstabbing, yes, but at the end of the day, like, you were really good in competition, and everyone here, they were all saying, and even I think some people over there in Asukaris were all saying, if you got to the end, you would win. And a lot could be said about Skylar, how great her gameplay was before she was taken out. Grandma had a secret deal with Phelan that no one knew about. And, like, you guys are dangerous players, and having to remove you guys from the game, and you and Graham as a pair. During the 24-hour challenge, I sent you a text about going to look for one specific clue, and you and Graham did it together.
I don't think you texted me.
I did.
You got the receipts.
Either way, the water under the bridge. Either way, like, you guys had each other. You guys were a clear pair. So I wanted to. I mean, when I got to final 7, it was 3 pairs and myself. And I thought to myself, if it's a final 3, I want to get to the final 5 with 2 of those pairs. So I think by doing that, and then at final 5, winning the last 2 immunities of the season, and being able to have the power to not only remain safe when 4 people could easily just boot you off, which I didn't know, I didn't think that'd be the case, but having the power to send either one of them to home at final 5, and by securing the final 4 victory, I could secure Phelan on the jury. So I think by removing 2 of the strongest players in the game, at the same time remaining pretty much not, I wouldn't say comfortably safe, but safe enough. I wouldn't say it's a big move that I did, but it's just a collection of, on a weekly basis, how I work to increase my standing in the game.
Can I do one yes or no follow-up question? So if you didn't win the final 5 immunity, you thought you would have made it to final 4? Yes or no, please.
I think I would have. I think there's a case. Okay, it depends who wins
That's
it.
all I need.
Yeah.
Good luck, you guys.
Thanks, Johnny.
a scary question, Johnny.
You just gotta earn it, brother.
Okay. I have a few things to say, so if it's mean, it's for good television.
That's okay.
So, hi guys. Congratulations. The three of you really did what you're supposed to do. Get to the final three. It's like what everyone wants to do in the game of Survivor without really a lot of blood on your hands. I'm not sure if that was like a goal of yours so that everyone else who got blood on their hands could not be there and you guys didn't really have to get anything like really down in the dirty, but you did it and I'm proud of you guys because that's really the end goal. That's all I can say about that. I think people would expect me to vote for someone who I played this game with since the beginning, so Kata and Valentina, like we played pretty much from the start. But I want to say like my vote before this like totally up in the air just because I don't want to come in here with any idea of who I want to because like that's what this is for. I want to understand who I'm going to vote for with what you're going to say about all these questions and what I have to say. So yeah, I'm a little confused on who I'm going to vote for, but I hope whatever you guys say will help me. And I think what's interesting about this game is that everyone in this season has had like a vote for them. Like Kata, you had a vote towards you because someone wanted me out. Valentina, you early on, I don't think you were there for it, but you had votes against you because you had a really great beginning game, and you were a really big threat at the beginning. And then Zach, that was
You did it.
Zach, you had votes against you pretty much like so many times but we kept you because we thought you were a really good number for us. So I guess I'm just curious to know, tell me a time where you knew something but you just did not tell me, or a time where you were sneaky, where you were a liar, and you did this only to get yourself further in the game, and really just like a time where you didn't tell me things so that you could fuck the alliance and you could like, because sometimes alliances overshadow you. I want to know times where you just like didn't tell me something. And I have like specific things I want you guys to say. I'm not gonna, kind of sucks for you guys because if you don't say it, but I really want to know sometimes we were sneaky so that you guys were playing your own game and not just following it like other people who, also, I forgot to mention, if I wanted, coming into this game, I wanted to really like play, if I got towards the end, if I was voted out, I wanted to vote for the person who voted me out. And like, Phelan did. She's the only person who ever voted me out. And like, that's why, this is tricky, because that's why I want to know. If you guys didn't tell me something, I just want to know, because Phelan's really the only one who I think has, I don't know, she really did that thing. So like, I want to know. Sneaky, liars, just tell me where you really said fuck you.
I'll go first. This happened when it was obviously final 5, and I had an alliance with Phelan, I had an alliance with you, and I had an alliance with Kata. And it was really me going, I went up to Jake because I didn't know how much I could trust Zach. And I went up to Jake and I was like, can I trust Zach? I was like, yeah, whatever. I went to talk to him after class, and I knew that I could trust him if I said something about voting for one of you two. I don't know what I said.
Yeah.
And it was true, and he did go back, and I was like, you know what, if he doesn't say anything, then I'll stay with him, and I'll go with Phelan, I'll ride it out with Phelan. And if he does say something, then I'm going to stick with y'all, ride it out with y'all, and act like that was just for pretend. And you did go back to them, and you did tell them, and you lied about it.
I did.
Yes, you did. And I caught you for it, too. I called you out for it.
Yeah.
And then that just was a point where I was just like, okay, like, this is where things have to start to pick up, and I need to really start to not be so comfortable because I couldn't trust them for sure, and I didn't know that if I could trust one of you two, because I didn't know if one of you two would flip.
So, I guess I'll go next. This is going, I guess, Final 5 again. Touched about it a little bit earlier. If we were able to get to Final 4, what I said to you was true. If I could have, I would have loved to honor our deal. But that being said, if we got to Final 4, us four right here, I don't know where the marbles would have fell. But again, it didn't really matter at Final Five whether you or Phelan went. You could take what I'm saying or leave it, but in my vlogs, I did predict she had the idol. On my way out the door, I'm literally holding my phone, running out the door to go vote. I said, if Phelan doesn't have the idol and Ben goes, that's fine. Because you are an unbelievable competitor. You are one of the most badass players to ever play. Like you played it. No one gives you credit, but you played an unbelievable game to get where you got.
Thank you.
So, by me kind of just letting it go and not throwing the rogue vote at either Valentina or Kata, I kind of had to just go with the group and show my loyalty towards them and you. But I was okay with the possibility of you leaving because either way, one of you two left. It still benefited me. It wasn't a total FU, but
Wish it was.
You have something in mind that I lied to you? Oh my god, I'm trying to think. I generally don't think I did.
No. I'm not saying when you lied to me. I just want to know if you did.
Oh,
like I want to know what times you were working against me
I didn't.
for your own game.
It might have been a flaw in my game, but I didn't have to. We never got to that point where I had to work against you. And I don't know. I was like, why would I just sporadically make an enemy if that wasn't necessary? I don't know. So I don't think I lied to you.
Okay. Can I ask a second question? Valentina, did you know that Phelan had the idol?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay.
Right before, yes.
You're good. Thank you.
you lied to me.
She told me right before.
And you're fine voting for that? And you're fine voting.
I know. I
for that?
just forgot that part, and then I was like, gotta go back.
Okay. First of all, congrats, guys.
Thank you.
It's one of those hard things. I think first vote out and my vote out are the worst ones. Never got to play, so close. And I think playing with you guys the farthest, I played the most with you guys. There were still a lot of things that were said tonight that I didn't know about your games. Kata, you said you played a very under the radar game, but at the same time, that didn't get to show me a lot of what you did do in the game. Valentina, we were close the whole time. But even something like your alliance with Kata and other alliances you had along the way maybe were unknown to me, so I almost feel like I don't really know your gameplay. And Zach, I never gave you credit for your moves. I thought you were stumbling by, trying to latch on to whoever's here and there, but after your speech tonight I can see whether or not you're looking back at it and filling in the strategy to make it make sense, or you actually did know the whole time. Props to you, because either way you were smart enough to come up with your arc. So my question for you guys is, if you're supposedly the three best players sitting in this room tonight, briefly, because we've got a lot to go through, I want you to go down the line and tell each person why you deserve to be here over them.
Ooh.
That's spicy.
Start with Kata. Let's start with Skylar and with me.
Okay. Skylar, I think you just played a game that was too intense too fast. And too comfortable too fast. And I think it rubbed people the wrong way that someone was so comfortable in one of the maybe most crucial moments of the game, which is the merge. So I feel like if you had maybe just been a little like less, I guess, comfortable in that spot, in that specific moment, you would have gone farther in the game. Andrew, I think we kind of like had the same issue of not really reaching out to people. And yeah, it kind of like, I know that it's scary, I know exactly the feeling, and I know that it like sucks to reach out to people, but I feel that I reached out to, I got over that fear at what, like exactly when I needed to branch out and add more people to have the numbers when we didn't have the numbers, when we were like, I mean Old Noir, when we were very obviously going to be like cherry picked until all of us were gone in that like crucial moment. Preston, kind of the same with Skylar. You were also very confident a lot of the time, and or you read as very confident, I will say, and that I feel like also makes you a bigger target. Yeah, and you're also super tall, which makes you a huge target as well, which I'm not.
Oh, I said that in my first vlog.
Yeah, no, it's very, very true.
Yeah.
Graham, I think you were too honest to too many people. I think, was your downfall. I think you gave too much information to too many people when I think, unfortunately, people, and me being also included in the people, use that information to further ourselves. Johnny, you play this game very intensely, with a lot of passion. Yeah. And I think your downfall was just that you were too good at the challenges. Honestly, I know this will sound kind of backwards, but I feel like you should have thrown one or two of the challenges in the sense of like, not in the very, very beginning when like you weren't a threat. You know what I mean? When like you kind of want to pick up the like weaker people first. Like people knew that you were athletic from the start. It was like you and Jake who kind of were like too athletic, like, okay, you need to get out. Then I kind of played the game with you and through you. I feel like a lot of the moves that I made with you, I kind of let you take all the negative backlash for and kind of just like hid there, which is both smart and dumb because I end up not looking like I did anything, but then I also don't get the heat for it, which is kind of unfair, but soz. And Phelan, I think one thing that I did that you didn't do, or one thing that you did that I didn't do, is too many alliances with too many people. And then it gets a certain point where you have to like keep the promises that you made, like to Graham, to Jake, to Valentina and stuff, and those start to like implode almost. Yeah. Thank you.
Skylar, I caught you right on camera with your confidence. I don't know if you were told, but we were on FaceTime once, and you did say that you could be carried through with Esukaris, and I was just on like game time at that point, and I was really into it, and I was on my phone, and I was like, it's time for me to record, because I knew that those words were going to come exactly out of your mouth. So I used that to my advantage. Andrew, great job not dropping that job, okay? I'm still...
I don't know how I did that.
I still go to the gym, and I think about that all the time. I think that like Kata said, it was just a matter of your social, strategy could have been a little bit stronger with probably Noir, because it was strong with Esukaris. Maybe it could have been stronger with Old Noir. Preston, you played a very good game, and even though it went around that I didn't really like you, I really did look up to you, and you did piss me off sometimes a lot. It's not that I didn't like you, I just think that you were very outspoken, and that just didn't help. It wasn't like really your game too much, it was just you, the things that you would say. I think people were just like, okay, we need to get this man out. Graham, I think you were too vulnerable, I think that a lot of times you believed you did believe what was being said to you, and as you should, but I think you should have been a little bit more cautious, or had tried to flip it or maybe you did try to flip it when you could, but it was that one just little thing that didn't do you justice. Johnny, just like Kata said, even though you don't think that you were a strong player, everyone knew you were a strong player, and everyone just looked at you as a threat, and it just came and bit you in the ass. Ben, you did make that social strategy of being with Old Noir and Old Esukaris, and I think that your whole strategizing throughout the game, me knowing your back thought, personally I was just like, this guy's too good to go through, and I was just like, can't let him go through it. So that's me to you. Phelan, this I can't tell you why I think that I should win over you, because if you were up here against me, I knew that you would win, and that's exactly why I voted you out, because I couldn't go up against someone. No offense to you two, but I think everyone can agree that you did play the strongest game, and I can't give you a reason why I think that I deserve to win over you. I just think I just got lucky with my alliance with Kata.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
You know what's funny about this is that when I wrote my original opening speech, I wrote down every juror's name and all the things I liked about the jurors. I did not imagine you'd ask me things not that I don't like, but why I deserve to be here, not them. So starting with Skylar, it's not just overconfidence, but it's just a level of comfortability that I didn't like, because no one should feel comfortable in this game. Expect the unexpected, big brother Johnny, but expect the unexpected. You literally, we were talking about the bandana, right? Do you remember the bandana, how I wear the bandana? And you were talking about, I'll do it at the next tribal council, the night you got voted off. And I was saying to myself, well, and I was trying to push you, well, this is your last chance to wear the bandana like me. And it's all fun and games, but you played a hell of a game. Andrew, this is actually the hardest one, because we were the dynamic duo flag competition, and I'm so sorry I threw that competition, one of many I've thrown. And I think you just didn't have like an instinct of like, oh, I'm in trouble, I need to reach out, I need to try to secure my safety. Preston, okay, so we've talked after Andrew got knocked out, and I was trying to tell you to jump ship. And you were kind of letting the ship sink.
I don't want to jump ship.
And you were just making it seem like it's Azukaras versus Noir, and I was trying to tell you, we can change that, we can make a move, and I did offer that to you, and you didn't want to take the advice, so I'm not going to go against the majority in that scenario. With Graham, a lot of anxiety, and I think a big part of why Kato is so successful in this game is having the mental stability of just hanging in there and believing the people that have backed her up throughout the game. Johnny, you let the comp beast go way too far. When people were saying you were the best comp beast, beat the same amount of comp wins. I mean, honestly, try throwing competitions. Throwing a competition is pretty fun. It's not that you were a bad player, but that was just such a threat level to everyone else that everyone just saw that and feared that. So towards the end of the game, when you did that 24-hour challenge and you just killed it, everyone was like, he can't be in the game. We were all like, if he'll steamroll competitions, will he win? I don't know, but you were doing really well in competitions. Ben, I think overplay sometimes could hurt us, and Skylar was an example of that. When you overplay and just not. Again, we were talking the final 5 vote off, and I was trying to tell you, maybe she has the idol. Let's try to split it or do something to try to prevent it. But I think I think you had such a level of safety, and at that point, I don't think you were expecting to go at final 5. And then with you, Phelan, I guess overplay does relate. When you did make that amazing move to play the idol, knock Ben out, at that point, you didn't really have a plan from then on. Like, let's say even Kata or Valentina won, I felt like there was a pitch to make to either one of them to knock you out. As long as you didn't win that competition, there was a pitch to make. And they both wrote down your name at the previous vote off. So as long as you didn't win, you really didn't have anything set up to get to final 3. That's the only thing that, for me, got you. Like, you made yourself such a bigger target, and by making yourself, even though sometimes we don't try to make ourselves look like a big target, we just do. And that could have been what costed you going from final 4 to final 3.
And I asked this question because I think there are people sitting in the room that deserves to be sitting here over some people. Not any specific people, but I appreciate your honesty, Valentina, and thank you for your answers.
jury members, thank you for your questions. We will now move into closing statements. We're going to go in reverse order this time. So Valentina first, then Zach, then Kata.
Okay, fun fact, I've never seen a full episode of Survivor. Whether that be Syracuse Survivor or like actual Survivor. I came into this like blindly and I never knew the rules. Like I actually didn't know there was gonna be a jury all up until Andrew, and I was like, oh shit, there's gonna be a jury. And I just tried my best every single time, like every single, challenge, every single vote off just to be safe. And clearly that worked out in my favor. I'm not here to brag or anything, but I think it is really cool to make it to Final 3 without any knowledge of the game. And in the end of it all, just like to keep it in the theme of the season of Double Trouble, I always kept myself with a close partner through the game to keep myself safe. And whether y'all knew about it or not, I was just Double Trouble myself, and I ended up here. So yeah.
So for me, the only episode of Survivor I've ever, or any clip of Survivor Syracuse I've ever watched was during the 24-hour challenge for Mr. Mike Rizzuto, watching him. So that was pretty funny to watch. I've only watched one real season of Survivor. Don't remember where it was. But in terms of gameplay, I came in with a very specific strategy to mimic somebody from a different game. And I had to adapt. It didn't work out. I didn't think it would be effective. It'd be interesting to try that in the future. But I think competitions are competitions. You win to give yourself safety. But there's way more to winning a game of Survivor or winning a game like this than just purely powering your way, bulldozing your way through. You have to have a social game. You have to form real relationships. And I feel like I did that with every single one of you, every single person in this room. I feel like I accomplished that with throughout the game. And I didn't just work with, like if I was on the Noir side, I didn't just talk to Noir. I kept the relationship, even though I knew every single one of you guys in Asukaris were going to go, I still kept my relationship with you guys and still I didn't ghost you guys. I didn't do anything like that. And I did even try to strategize with Johnny and Preston at times to try to make a flip. But if you say you can play this game efficiently without lying, then you're lying yourself. I had to lie. I had to do what I had to do. I had to make moves. I felt like if I got to Final 3 with, in general, I feel like I needed to have a specific point or move that I made or moves that I made in order to propel myself. I didn't want to be carried. I wanted to be able to make a case for myself, and I feel like I accomplished that. So vote. Don't be a bitter jury. Vote who you think deserves to be the sole survivor of Season 6.
I think my final speech, I'm going to address the final part of Phelan's speech question moment. That you said that you think some people deserve to be up here more than other people. And honestly, I heard that week after week, and I let myself believe that I didn't deserve to be where I was, and that people were better than me. And I let all of that get into my head and create a lot of insecurity. And it took a lot of looking back at my whole game to understand that I disagree with that statement. I think overplaying the game is a weakness. Being a target is a weakness. And I think that if there was somebody sitting there that deserved to be in the spot more than us, then they would be in the spot. Mm-hmm. And I think I let myself believe for a very long time in this game that people around me were better instead of focusing on what I did. And I don't know, I came to a point where I'm happy with the game that I played. I'm not going to let other people make me believe that I am less than anyone else in the room just because I'm maybe quieter or sneakier in the sense of I'm not as loud. I played a good game. I played a game that got me here. I made friends. I had fun, and I'm proud of it. And thank you for your questions, but I don't think anyone at this point can convince me otherwise.
Kata, Valentina, Zach, you've officially said all that you can, and the power now lies in the hands of your peers. So, without any further delay, for the final time, let's go vote on who is the most deserving to be our 6th sole survivor.
Damn, I did not think I was gonna vote for this girl, but shit, she should play the game that I wanted to play. So, this is who I'm voting for.
I might sit here for 5 minutes and think about who I'm going to vote for, because I'm honestly not sure. I'm between 3 people who all have their flaws, but all got to the end. One of them I didn't really speak to majority of the game. I hate how that question came off, by the way. The second one, someone I tried to vote out a couple times who was pinned up against me, and then the third person, someone who can't articulate why he was here. At least he did a better job today. So I feel like whoever I'm going to write down, I'm going to regret.
In terms of gameplay and what I heard here tonight, I think Zach deserves to be the sole survivor.
Oh god, that was intense. None of their answers really impressed me.
Well, I'm strictly voting this way just because I don't want Zach to win, and you answered my question the way I wanted you to. So, good job. And I really want someone from Noir to win, and I think you played the best game out of the people up there. Yeah, so congratulations, Valentina. Hope you win.
And honestly, before tonight, I didn't know if I was going to vote for you. But I think you have the best strategy, and I respect people that play hard, and yeah, props.
All right, I'll read the votes. Kata. Valentina. Zach.
We're on the board.
1 vote Zach, 1 vote Valentina, 1 vote Kata. Zach. Zach. That's 3 votes Zach, 1 vote Valentina, 1 vote Kata. The winner of Survivor Syracuse Double Trouble in our 6th Sole Survivor, Zach.
Wow. You're kidding. You're kidding. Wow.
Zach.
What do I do now?
Congratulations. You don't, I don't know.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just getting up.
All right, yeah, come up here. Why not? Why not? Yeah, where's the idol?
Oh, not this thing again.
There you go. Congratulations, Zach. Our 6th Sole Survivor. Our second male winner. The first male on the final 3 since season 3. So Zach, congratulations. Valentina, Kata, both of you, great job this season. And the jury, thank you all for making this a great season.
Thank you.
Zach, do you want to say something?
Thank you to the jury. Thank you to Dross over there, one of the filmers. He convinced me to get on the show. Last semester he was playing, I don't know how, he finished in 4th, and it gave me a lot of inspiration to want to do this myself and try my hand at it. I've always watched Big Brother. It's very similar to Survivor, and same like concept and everything. I've wanted just to, do this, and I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be the winner.
Once again, thank all of you for making this a great season. Shout out to production and our filmers. They were great this year. A lot of moving pieces this semester. We got it done. Took a while, but once again, thank you all. Thank you all for coming tonight, and enjoy the rest of your semesters.